just an icebreaker, and that's, when did NFTs click for you?
Yeah, I think I can start with that. For me, it had a real connection into the project that we're working on specifically, called Doing Good. And as you can guess, the name is all about an NFT marketplace for social good. So for me, where NFTs really clicked and where it became very obvious, this is here to stay, and it has a real connection to what we want to do with our platform, was the Carbon Drop, it was called, with people and a collection of really great NFT artists who came together to create their works for the Open Earth Foundation, and they raised almost $7 million for that organization. And in that place, it was very clear that there was this connection between the NFT artists and also creating something bigger for social impact, for social good. And that's kind of a main validation point of what we saw as real true, that what we're gonna create is gonna have a real impact.
Yeah, you got it, Julian.
Okay. For me, I guess, I'm a visual artist, and I'm a part of a community of over 200 artists. We self-organized in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And for me, what the big click was when I put on my first artwork for sale on a NFT platform, and the first bid I ever got was by a colleague artist, which I come from a traditional art background, and in the traditional art world, it's almost unheard of that, you know, artists can collect each other's works. Especially in a scene like Argentina, the Argentinian scene, it's very rare that artists have the power to support each other in that way. So yeah, when I put on the first work and I got a bid, and it was another artist that said, hey, I'm super excited about your work, I love what you're doing, I was like, wow, okay, there's something here that's definitely new and different that I had never seen before.
Yeah, and for me it was the Trevor Jones drop, his Bitcoin Angel drop, and you know, he sold 150 NFTs in the first drop, and that's when I thought about the business model. I thought about building community wrapped around an open edition, and that's really where it kicked in for me. And so that's when I, you know, I went headfirst into the space. So, but I'm also working with building Favorite, and that's a company that really we're focused on doing good in real life. So, how do you build communities with actually outcomes? And you know, I think that's a big piece that's missing today.
Cool. Should we like introduce our projects in more depth, like one by one?
Yeah, so, you want to fire away first? Julian, you kick it off.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so as I said, around June last year, I got into the NFT space as an artist. I had been working with digital art before, so it like kind of fit quite perfectly with my pursuit. And then I started feeling a lot of like uncertainty, like how to navigate this space, and there was like a lot of questions I had, a lot of insecurities. So I started reaching out to other artists, and we started forming like a very informal group of information sharing. So this community that now is huge, I could say that it's the biggest, most organized artist community in the NFT space. Back then it was just very like loose, and it was based on sharing information and trying to navigate uncertainty together instead of just, you know, feeling alone. And already that, which was like within the first month of my experience in the NFT space, was like so different from the traditional art world, because I could see a spirit of collaboration that I had never ever seen before. Like sharing secrets, sharing your, you know, sharing all the information you have, trying to help people get into the space, onboard people, like those kind of things that I saw very, very early on were very unique and very different from what I knew was like the traditional art world. Yeah, so basically this community formed, and we started trying to do things together. So very early on we did a first collaboration. We had a huge drop together. It was 23 artists, and we like shared a theme, and then dropped 23 artworks. and it went super, super well because everyone was like helping each other promote and leveraging on our audiences. So yeah, and now we have a mint fund. We help people mint their first works when they can't afford it. We create guides for people to know how to use MetaMask, how the platforms work, what are these like art platforms. So we want to help people come in, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Hey, Julian, I know we talked, before the show. What's it like in Argentina, and can you just kind of share what it means, like, for your artists, because it's very different in different parts of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. So the scene in Argentina is quite precarious. There's a lot of cultural production going on, and the scene is huge. There's a lot of artists, a lot of exhibitions, everything, but resources are very scarce. Collectors are very little, like there's very little collectors. There's maybe literally 30 big collectors that buy artworks regularly. So yeah, you can definitely see that when the game is not zero-sum, the community dynamics change extremely. Like it's incredible how much they change. So yeah, I've been in the traditional art world for 11 years, trying to make it as an artist and try to make a living just by making my art, and I could never achieve that before NFTs. And I see a lot of people that are super young and already being able to like pay rent and pay their bills out of like what is going on in the NFT space. That already makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I know we're still doing introductions, but Julian, I still wanted to follow up on one of your points. And like one of the key things I think important for all of us is growing the space. And you mentioned one piece being education. Is there other things that you've seen or that you believe are really important to bringing more people into the space, and what you guys in your community have found as key entry points for them?
Well, yeah, a challenge that we saw happening in the beginning, like it wasn't really a problem for me, but a lot of people had issues with documentation in different languages, for example. For example, you applied to Super Rare or you applied to Known Origin, and you got this like email saying, yeah, welcome to the platform, this is how you do this, you have to open your MetaMask, whatever, for people that back then didn't know, and it was all in English. So already that could be a barrier. So the first thing we started doing was translating all the guides to Spanish.
Yeah, just breaking down barriers, right? It's education, but also trying to make it easier, like from the project standpoint as well, I think, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good.
GM.
Welcome. Good to have you. I guess I'll go next with introductions. I'm Andrew Klein. I'm not on the screen. I'm actually filling in for my co-founder, Manu, who you don't quite see the resemblance. I don't have the long, lushing hair as my co-founder there. But yeah, we're building Doing Good, which is an NFT marketplace for social good. What does that mean? At the 30,000 foot level, we're trying to connect the creator and the giving economy, which we feel are super well aligned. And more directly what that means is with every NFT sale that goes through the marketplace, the creator or the seller gets to choose a nonprofit, an NGO, a social impact organization that they care most about, and transparently stream a percentage of the proceeds. And we believe this is really opening up the space, and with the technology and the ability of the blockchain to transparently show where the money's going and transparently show the impact that is getting generated with NFTs, also with the power of royalties to continuously stream money to causes that creators and that the collectors also care most about, is super, super powerful. And also the sense that, as a society, as younger and younger generations, it's really important. We believe that you're showing that you're generating positive impact, that you're contributing towards a better society, better for humanity. And like, we're big believers that the foundation of every business model should be generating impact, and not just one-off sales that go to charity, but rather in the core of every transaction, in the core of every business, money is getting streamed to social impact. And we want that to be the option of the creator, of the person that's putting their hard work into generating that work. that continuously streams money to something that they care about. So that's what drives our project. That's how we believe NFTs are for good and really open up this world to generate a lot of impact. And yeah, excited to be here.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Good to be here. So I'm from Pizza DAO, and we sold the Rare Pizzas NFT in February. We sold the boxes, and we just released our pizzas from the oven last night. And what we did with the money was throw a global pizza party. So on Bitcoin Pizza Day, we spent about $300,000, a bit more, on pizza globally in over 60 countries, over 300 pizzerias. And we did that because pizza is the greatest food in the known universe. And we believe
Great.
there is a pizza distribution problem on planet Earth, not a pizza scarcity problem. So the mission of our organization is to make pizza free on planet Earth.
That's NFTs for good.
And we believe that is a real dream, a real possibility, because this is distribution technology that we're building here in Web3. And so we started with a global pizza party, but next we build an open source franchise. So any pizzeria anywhere in the world can use our open source software to run their restaurant, their payroll, inventory, point of sale, delivery, the whole shebang. We're going to build that open source and bring all these pizzerias onto the blockchain.
Dude, you're the bomb. It's good to have you, Snax. Hey, so I thought I'd just share a quick story why I founded Favorite, and it's really simple. It's not simple, but it's complicated. And COVID happened, and what I realized when COVID happened is my job didn't change, my wife's job didn't change. We bought computers for our kids. We ate well, and for me, that was the moment that my wife and I decided we needed to do more to give back. And so I had been ideating on ways and using token models, and I've been in crypto a bit. Not necessarily an OG, but I've been in since 2017. And my belief is that a token model can really have true impact. And I'm not talking about raising $1 million. I'm not talking about raising hundreds of millions, but can you raise $1 billion? And so, that's what we're planning to do. And for me, it starts with community, and if you can build it with a foundation, then you can really build a model on top of it. And so that's what we're going to do.
Totally agree. And I think the opportunity that comes from a token model in a community is that you're really aligning all of the stakeholders for long-term growth, long-term alignment on what you're building towards, what the purpose is, what the end outcomes you're looking to achieve as a community and as a large group. And with tokens, it democratizes that ability to reach more people that are aligned by your mission. I completely agree.
Yeah, all we needed to launch Pizza DAO was the dream that pizza should be free and the promise of a pizza token. And we have 1,250 for the team. We have 314 artists, 100-some pizza mafia who have contributed to our operations. And we bootstrapped the whole thing with an NFT.
Hey, Snax, I think it's kind of relevant. Can you just kind of share how you started? I think it was a Clubhouse room, right?
Yeah, so we were in a Clubhouse room called The Room About Nothing. And someone came in and said, let's make pizza hash masks. And we said, yeah, let's DAO it. And then we did. And how it happened was that there was already a community on Clubhouse, which probably many of you came from, that was talking about NFTs all the time, every day, especially in like January, February, a little before. And so we went from there and we just ran with it, and we transitioned to Discord. Our first website was a Google Doc. It was a slide that redirected from rarepizzas.com. And we just, a DAO is a state of mind. So we just said, look, we're a DAO for pizza. Pizza's our boss. Pizza wants to be consumed. We're going to help it get consumed. And that's simple. It's easy to coalesce around the idea that pizza should be free.
Johnny, I was thinking about your introduction, and I wanted to ask you, like, what kind of projects are you thinking on developing in your company?
Yeah, so our first strategy is to launch a collectible, and we're targeting Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th. It's probably a stretch. There's just so much that goes into these projects, and if you're going to do something right, it takes time. And so we have a team of 10. We've got somebody who's helping develop our charitable giving strategy, and she's been absolutely fantastic. And so we're working hard and fast and trying to put all the pieces together. But people work better with deadlines, so we have a deadline, and we're gonna rock it.
Yeah, deadlines are hard, but important.
For sure.
And what about doing good? Is it going to be mostly artworks or like one-on-ones, or also collectibles? What's the NFT area you're going into?
Yeah, good question. We're starting with artworks primarily, but the idea is to open it up and scale with really any type of NFT and build 4 collectible projects to easily launch within the platform. We want to enable DAOs to participate, to be main participants in the ecosystem and in the platform, because we find that DAOs often are super well aligned with our purpose and with this ability to generate impact, and yeah, definitely want them to be major participants within the ecosystem.
Yeah, and one of the things Andrew said earlier is just supporting each other and social impact causes. So, it's so critical that there's partnership, alignment. Everybody on our team will support Doing Good and what they're doing, the team. And I mean, Doing Good's probably one of the flagship projects that if you've done any research, they've got a killer background of founders and peeps, and it's really a who's who. So in some ways, we'll model off of what Doing Good is doing, but really it's all about real world impact.
Yeah, real world impact and collaborating with other projects that are aligned in the values, and just, we talked about earlier too, the space is so young still, and there's so much space to grow, and it's all about supporting each other's projects and growing together and bringing more people into the space. That's why I was really curious about that question, because that's where the real growth comes. That's where projects really succeed. It's bringing more people into the space and opening up this world that's still so young and so new.
Yeah, like many of people in our community's first Ethereum was from submitting proof of pizza, which meant they took a picture of their receipt, they filled out a Google form, and we reimbursed them in Ethereum. And so we onboarded just, hundreds of artists to the blockchain doing this.
That's very cool. Yeah, our time is up. I would like to encourage people to check out Crypto ARG. So that's Crypto ARG. That's the community. So if you're into art and NFTs, we have a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Really cool what you guys are doing. All you guys, and Pizza DAO, all the projects. So I think we'll all probably be sticking around after for questions, but yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we have free pizza all day at the bar. I think.
Winner.
I haven't been, I just got here yesterday. I was a little late, so wherever the bar is, we have free pizza there. Maybe there, maybe outside. Right there, Rory? Is that where the free pizza's gonna be? Yeah, right there in the back. So come by.
Yeah, hey, thanks everybody, and really thank everybody for showing up at 8:30. You're the stars of the
Thank
show.
you.
Hey, before you guys leave for a second, let me ask you guys a question. We're just getting things started, and thanks for being here. Snax, glad you could jump on.
Oh man, it was rough getting out of bed this morning.
Where were you at?
We had our release party last night.
Yes,
not the best timing.
Yes, you did. So we're getting ready for the next panel. So we got a moment. Can I ask you all the same question? I'd just like to hear your thoughts on this. I've asked this question hundreds of people the last few years. But when you project NFTs for good and this general topic, and you think things out 2 or 3 years, if I say NFT 2024, what comes to mind in the next 2 or 3 years? Not what do you predict, but what are you actually building towards? What are you hoping for? What are you projecting, casting vision for? We could just go left to right. When you think through the future of NFTs, what really lights your fire and just gets your imagination going?
So I mean, I think of NFTs just as a all-purpose receipt. So they will have a place in everything. They will be everywhere. Any industry that you are in, it will apply NFTs. It's a good technology. It's a smart technology. It will work. So it's very exciting that artists have joined the blockchain movement. We didn't have a lot of artists around like a year ago, I don't think, and that's really important. So, you know, I'm looking. We started, like, Pizza DAO is about giving small businesses the tools to disambiguate middlemen, right? It's applying blockchain to problems that every neighborhood has where there is no community ownership of businesses. So we believe, you see people pump AMC and GameStop, right? And they do that because they think that video games and movies are cool and hedge funds are not. And that's not hard to agree with, but when you pump AMC and GameStop or Shiba, you know, it's not like there are more movies, video games, or Shiba Inus, maybe a little bit more, but like not that many more in the world, right, when you pump these tokens. So if we can make tokens, like if you can pump a pizza token and it turns into real world pizza, that's kind of where we see this going. It's not,
Thank you.
yeah,
Julian.
it's not exactly an NFT, but you know, NFT will be an antiquated word in maybe not that soon, but maybe like 5 years. You know, we're not going to say NFT. It's just a token. It's a token, yeah. Of course, it's a token. Non-fungible, fungible, you know, whatever.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on the future of NFTs around the topic of NFTs for good.
Sure. So I see a trend of NFTs being a tool for access. So as an artist that lives in the periphery of the world stage of art, what I've been seeing is that there's access being created for people that otherwise never had access. So I'd like to see that trend grow more. So the traditional art world is trying to merge with the NFT world right now in a quite clumsy way, but I think there's a lot of good that can come out of that. So I'd like to see the future be more about access and those two worlds taking what's good from each other and growing.
Andrew, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, of course. For me, there's two things, and first, just at a high level, I think NFTs are such an amazing opportunity to onboard more people into this Web3 decentralized space. As previously, it was about, you know, Bitcoin and the financial piece, and then along DeFi, which brought in these two segments of the population that were largely financial backgrounds that understood kind of the opportunity in that piece. Whereas NFTs unlock a whole new audience that can participate in this decentralized world, this Web3 crypto-enabled blockchain world. And I think that really opens us up to the mass market and really like creates this incredible momentum into this movement. And on top of that, specifically to NFTs for good, how I see it and how we see it at Doing Good, is we really want to normalize this giving back or contributing to something that's for the betterment of society, that's beyond just a once in a while transaction, but rather in everything that we do, in every business model, every organization, as at least having a large part of that toward contributing to the betterment of society. And that's why for us it's about ingraining that into the business model directly. And we think society, and like I said earlier, the younger generations, that's incredibly important. And if you're an organization that's not doing that, then you kind of get canceled, if you will, with that strong language. But I think that's becoming more and more clear, and for us that's where we see it normalizing, and we kind of, that's in our name, that's like how we're starting, but for us we don't think that's actually like a long-term competitive advantage, because we think that's something that should happen pretty soon, and we want to be part of the movement and other projects that believe the same thing. And you know, in this sense, NFTs are such a powerful technology in doing that, with royalties and with the access piece, that it really like enables a lot of these things. And for us, that becomes standard, and then it's beyond, then it goes to so much more than that.
You got the final word, Johnny. Close us down.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, I mean, for me, I echo a number of the comments, but really it's about stability in the space, right? And if you can normalize and you can find ways that social impact is part of what we do as a community, and we grow this through like-minded, mission-oriented teammates in the space, you know, there's plenty of room for all of us, and so there's no need for us to compete for the betterment of the world. And that's really what we're trying to do as a collective.